It is getting cold. Like, it snowed the first time for this season yesterday, and honestly, not just the weather is getting cold, but the political climate as well. And so I just wanted to take this video and talk about some things that help me live like a really warm life when the weather gets cold. It's a bunch of basic stuff maybe, and I hope there's still some things that will make your life warmer as well. And I'm glad if you help me encourage other people that watch this video in the comments as well. And let's just help each other bring together some tips and practices that help us live warm lives. Not just the temperature, but of course, like warm in a sense of welcoming and kind to each other and good for us, good for our bodies and good for our mental health and good for our well-being overall. So let's get started, and I think this video will contain about like 20 things that I love to do that make my life warmer. And the first one I think is just really important is give yourself grace. Like, give yourself the chance to rest, give yourself the chance to not be perfect. The light is also changing, so that's one of the things. I'm not gonna worry about it too much, and I'm just gonna say, like, one thing that I like to do is rest. Sleep enough, rest, take time for yourself, and not do the thing that someone is expecting you to do maybe. And so rest, I think, is so simple but so crucial for our well-being, and we don't give ourselves enough of that. And I think especially when the seasons are getting colder, especially when political climates are getting colder, we might need more rest, and that's okay. And I hope we can all try to just give that to ourselves. Another thing that I think helps there is to journal or meditate or do any of these like activities that just help you to ground yourself, that help you to take a break, pause, reflect, and maybe just look at the things a bit more positive or see the things that you're doing well. And now I think we're very different people. And so for me, journaling works. For me, talking to other people works. For me, just laying in bed and doing nothing works. So these are things I like to do as well. And then the third thing in this category of giving yourself grace is just like skip something. Like, I don't know, no matter what it is that's stressing you out, if you can, skip it every now and then. And make sure that you have enough energy to take care of yourself first so that you can actually give to the people and the causes around you that you care about. And so no matter if it's like a workout class, even if it's work for a day when you really just can't, if it's an obligation that you can actually give away and say like, no, I can't today. Skip something, not do something, don't be perfect, just exist, you're enough, that's okay, and it will be there tomorrow if you want, or maybe you can actually declutter it so it won't be there tomorrow. Now, moving on, I don't think giving yourself grace is going to do everything. That's, of course, a great first step. But I do think there are many different categories where we can do something that makes our lives warm. And so the next category that I do want to talk about is fitting the word well, because it's about actual warmth. Now, I don't know if you're similar to me in that sense, but I love warmth. Now, I'm living in Europe, and in Europe we have 4 seasons, and during winter it's really cold, and my house is not insulated well, so it's pretty cold right now, like my hands are cold. So something I definitely need during the cold months is some actual warmth. And for me, a thing that I love to do is taking a hot shower. Now, I am aware, and I definitely also think that you shouldn't take these like showering, brushing your teeth, getting enough sleep, that is not actual self-care, because it should be like the bare minimum, yes. But then on the other hand, I still want to mention it because I think enough of us don't get these bare minimum things. And so I do want to mention that a hot shower is actually making me very happy when I take the time to get in the shower and turn up the water pretty hot, so I am getting really warm and cozy. Another thing is, of course, drinking hot tea. That's something that I like, that I barely do, and I don't really know why. So maybe this winter I should really do it more, or have like a how's it called? A hot water bottle, like a warming bottle, or just like actual warmth, getting outside, getting some sunshine. If you can, if you have the money, going to like get yourself a wellness day or something like that, sauna, just actual warmth. I think that can have such a good impact on your health, mental health, and overall feeling cozy and warm and good. Another thing that I think is pretty obvious when talking about having like a warm life is strengthening community and friendships. And for me, during the past few years, that has looked a lot like trying to make new friends. I think it's just really difficult as an adult. And I think I'm finally making some progress with my coworkers, with some people I met over social media, but I'm not sure, like it's still in an in-between phase of like, we're not really friends yet, but I'm making an effort. So that is something that I want to recommend to you because it can be so much fun. It can bring so much warmth into our lives to strengthen friendships, to make new friends, to pour into like connections with friends. And then the other thing is, of course, reaching out to friends you maybe don't speak to enough, or even just, taking quality time with your family members or the people you live with if you don't live alone. So just paying a bit more attention to your friends, your loved ones, because I think we all need it right now. And there's never too much of like quality time with friends and sharing and helping each other and things like that. And the third thing here that I think is really important is not only pouring into the connections and friendships that you already have, but maybe also volunteering or just doing something for people you don't actually know. That can be helping someone to find their way to where they need to go. A few days ago, I actually had to call like emergency services for an elderly person in our house, and actually the day before yesterday some people had like a pretty bad fight in our neighborhood, so I went there and checked on them, things like that. Now maybe you're not always able to help, but I think just paying a little bit of attention, and if there's a chance, if you can help someone out, that can make our lives so much better. Now, I've been helped out so many times when I was looking for something, when I had a question, and I'm just glad when I can be that person for someone else. And so I think especially also, this is a very political thing, I want us to be more community oriented, to help each other out, to don't always assume the worst of each other, and just to try to strengthen the bonds and the humanity and the good feelings we have for each other, so that we can be parts of strong communities that are actually very helpful in every person's life, instead of all of us being very hyper individualistic, needing to buy everything for ourselves, needing to solve everything for ourselves, needing to go through everything ourselves. So I think being there for each other in every possible way is gonna make our society and our individual lives warmer. Now there's a category we cannot miss, and that is tidying up your surroundings. Now, of course, I would say that as a person practicing minimalism for almost 10 years. What I mean by that is, of course, decluttering. Getting rid of all of the things that are just laying around us, that take up space, that take up energy to clean, that take up mental energy because they're just there, visual clutter, I don't know, just all of these things that don't make sense in our lives, they can go, and they will make our lives feeling like tidier and warmer and gentler and less stressed out. But then, and that's the tricky thing, I also want to recommend to bring away decluttered stuff, because too many times we declutter something and then we push it into a corner, into the garage, wherever of our apartments and houses, and then it sits there and it's still not really gone. So what I want to encourage us to do more of, and that's something I need to do today, is take out recycling, take out trash, take out decluttered things, and make sure they're actually leaving our lives. in the best case, they're actually like returning to be something valuable in the future, such as, recycling or bringing things to a secondhand store or to another person, listing them online on a like Facebook Marketplace or something like that. And then also something that doesn't require you to declutter things, but I think falls into the same category, is like washing your sheets, washing your curtains, deep cleaning, dusting, just doing like small repair chores and things like that to tidy up your surroundings more than just like cleaning or putting things where they belong. Just giving your whole room a little bit of a refresh, but I don't think you need to buy things for that or like paint your walls, but just kind of bring in order what's been laying around, what hasn't been done. And definitely we also have some stuff like that needs to be done and that we did partly addressed during the past few weeks, but I want to do more of that during the coming weeks because it really helps me feel grounded, calm, warm, and happy, and it decreases a lot of stress in my life if my surroundings are tidy and look good and don't contain like huge to-do list of things. Like whenever I look around, it's like, oh, I need to do that. Oh, there's that I need to take care of. And so getting rid of that really makes my life better. And the next category, maybe you're not surprised if you hear it, but it's get outside. And I think this can make our lives warmer, no matter if it's really cold outside, because we can, for example, feel some sunshine. And I'm pretty sure sunshine, warmth, light have like proven positive effects on our health and on our mental health. And so I think sometimes we're stuck inside. Sometimes we're feeling bad, we're feeling cold, we're feeling uneasy, we're not feeling happy, and we don't all have the energy, or we don't see that it would make sense or be positive if we went outside. But honestly, in this situation, I think let's just go. This is the situation where I do think stepping outside of our comfort zone, giving ourselves this little push is actually helpful, because in a lot of cases I do not think that's necessary, especially if we need rest, recharge, warmth, all of these things. I don't want us to push ourselves too much, but in this case I think it's gonna be worth it, because going outside will expose us to some fresh air, some light, some sunshine, which is gonna make us healthier and happier and warmer. And then also when we look at the like physical, chemical way of how warmth works, like atoms moving faster, I think it does make sense to move. Get into movement, because moving, no matter if it's going for a walk, if it's running, if it's doing a workout, will help us to be warm, and it will help us to get our thoughts moving as well. And I'm pretty sure there are proven effects there as well, scientifically proven. It makes us happy in different ways. It's a good idea to go outside and move. And then on the other hand, I do want to play this analogy a bit further, because if we look at cold outside in nature and on a very small scale in our world means staying still. It means like frozen in place, right? It's not moving. And that is, especially for me, as at least often how I feel when I don't feel good. When I feel cold, not on like a physical level, but on a mental level, it's because I'm stuck, because I feel like there's no point in anything, because I feel like I'm not progressing, because I feel like our world is not progressing into the direction that I want to see it go. I feel like we're cold to each other, we're not helping each other out. The world is getting worse for certain groups of people, and therefore I do think like just on every level, moving, doing just anything, like even if it's like a knitting project, if you're rearranging your furniture, if you're decluttering, if you're doing anything with your body or with the things around you, if you get things moving, this is like a good first step to get into a positive direction, to get towards warmth in any possible way. And then another classic, but I think it is important, is reading, consuming, watching good stories. Now, all of the other things were things that are about our lives, where we can change things, where we can make our lives better. But I do think like consumption Not in a way of like shopping ourselves out of a rut. Absolutely not. I don't think this is going to have like an overall positive effect long term. But I think consuming good stories can actually make us feel very warm. My choice in books is queer love stories. And I just went to the library yesterday and I brought back 14 books that I want to read over the next month. I'm not sure if I'm gonna get through all of them. Maybe I can like extend the books a bit longer so that I can read them for longer into the new year. But queer love stories in general, if you like them, but also TV shows. Like, I love a good story and they can make me so happy. And of course, they shouldn't consume like 24 hours of our day. Like, we should not just consume our ways out of a rut. It won't really work. We need to also look at ourselves and our lives. But I think a few hours a day, it's totally fine to consume someone else's reality and get some good feelings from there. But then I also think what's a really good idea in phases where like really like, oh, I need rest, I need some good vibes, I need some warmth, is rewatching good shows, rereading good books. Like, I never used to do that. But then during the past few years, I actually got into rewatching some shows because you already know what's happening. And I think that can be a really good thing if you're going for this cozy vibe, chill out, warmth, de-stress. And so I can just encourage you to watch some of the shows you've really enjoyed in the past, reread some of the books you've read. The same goes for movies and just like enjoying a story. Maybe it's connected, you know, to experiences out how you felt in the past, or it's just a really good story that you can enjoy more than once. But when we're already talking about things we consume, I do also want to make a case for political books and shows and videos and just content that might not make us feel really warm, like just right off the bat when we're reading it, because it's enraging, it's disgusting, it's hard to read sometimes. Because I think if we learn about discrimination, racism, sexism, all of these things, then that can be hard, but I do think it can contribute to a really warm life because we can learn how to be good allies. We can learn how to actually like be more effective in the change we want to see in the world, how to be better people, how to support causes better, and how to like actually to just learn, because none of us can know everything. And so it's a good idea to educate ourselves, to know more, to be informed, to make informed decisions, no matter if it is when we vote for someone, when it is about policy changes in our like smaller neighborhood or city or something like that, or if it's just in like when we talk to people and they are saying something that kind of feels bad. When we learn more about political things and how to support each other politically, then I think we can lead warmer lives and definitely help a lot of other people live warmer lives as well, because we can support the causes that we feel are really important and that will help more people have equal chances at a warm and beautiful life. So these are some things that I like to do to have a warm life when the weather gets cold, when the climate gets cold, even though the climate is also getting warmer. But I think you know what I mean. And I do want to say that, of course, this is a lot. And of course, we just need to take care of ourselves kind of first. Like, yes, we want to be there for other people. Yes, we kind of need to be there for our world. But on the other hand, it's really, really important that we stay sane and look after ourselves. And then I think this morning, when still laying in bed before getting up, I realized that it is a lot about letting go on one hand, but then also keeping or gaining control on the other side. And I think when we talk about it philosophically, that a lot of people are all about like letting go and letting go of expectations and not being like enraged by things. Also, if we talk about minimalism, it's kind of the same. Letting go of possession, letting go of feelings towards our stuff and things like that. But then on the other hand, I also think a lot of people that, for example, want to be minimalist, it's also a lot about control. It's also a lot about like getting my stuff together, getting my life together, feeling better again, feeling in control, feeling like not everything is running through my fingers. And I think it's kind of the same when we want a warm life. We don't want to just be surrounded with all of this stuff that's freaking us out or that's overwhelming and that's not feeling good, that makes us freeze, that makes us like not being able to actually be the person and be an active member of society and doing the things we want to do. And so I think it's this balance of gaining control but also letting go, because trying to be 100% in control will make us unhappy, and letting go 100% I do think will also make us unhappy if we do not care at all for like being in charge of what we do. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you like to do that makes you like feel better, makes you feel warm, and I do hope we can have a good discussion in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. And now I do want to link you a video here that you can check out, but also want to say thank you so much to all of my patrons who do get an extra podcast episode every single week. We're almost at 100 podcast episodes you can get access to if you're a patron, so maybe that's something for you. And other than that, I do hope to see you in this video or in my next one. Goodbye.